What up? What up? It's your boy RVA from VA, Richmond to be exact, and I'm back again, back like I never left. Yeah, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So I'm gonna start this and go ahead and let you guys know off the bat. I woke up the other day and I had this little tickle in my throat. Um, it's like I got a frog or something. I don't know what it is. So I'm currently drinking hot tea. So if my voice get a little raspy or scratchy, or you see me picking up this teacup right here, just know is a work in progress. Just added a little more honey to it because it's absolutely killing me. Nothing's working. Cough drops. Uh, Whatever I try, just not working right now. So bear with me. I'm going to be sipping on my hot tea throughout the night as you guys enjoy the show, and we get into the proceedings for the night. So thank you for looking and joining Command Respect TV. I'm your host, RVA. This is the first ever post game show, late night show. Hang out with your boy. We're going to talk all Commanders football, specifically what took place today at 1 o'clock when we faced off with the Carolina Panthers. So, with that being said, let's get right into it. Let me take a sip real quick. So, first, I'm going to start with the quarterback position. Um, Carson Wentz started the game for us as he is QB1. Carson Wentz recorded. He went 10 for 13, 74 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown. Um, let's look at that a little bit. So I like what I seen from Carson. It was, kind of weird because we didn't get to see. He was out there for 3 possessions, but I feel like he only would have been out there for 2. But on the second possession, Antonio Gibson did cough up the rock. You hate to see it. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So the third possession was, just a makeup possession. Ron wanted that unit to finish out strong, so he put those guys back out there, and they were able to cap that off with a touchdown run by the rookie running back Brian Robinson. So you love to see that. Definitely good to build a little confidence. For the most part, Carson Wentz hooked up on some short passes, pretty much what the defense gave him. He was able to work that in. Some of the longer shots he took downfield, he wasn't able to connect, but hopefully with time, those things will be able to get better. The timing, the placement of the ball, just the overall, how he sees and views the receivers and trying to hook up with those guys down the field. But it was good to see that they were taking a couple shots. They just weren't able to hit on those shots. So with that being said, that pretty much wrapped Carson Wentz up. Pretty solid day. Like I said, first preseason game. Ron talked in his presser, and he did say that what he did like was Carson Wentz communication in and out of the huddle. And then also Scott Turner and those guys were able to get the plays in. Carson Wentz pretty much knew what Scott Turner was looking for, and they were able to, not get late into the play clock. So you like to see that from your QB1. We got a comment right here. J Love to Shop. Hello, what's going on? Salute for Command Respect TV. Appreciate the support. So next, let's go ahead and dive into Taylor Heinicke. Taylor Heinicke went 4 for 9, 21 yards, and an interception. Now, Taylor Heinicke was out there, I believe, for 1 possession, and we pretty much know what we're going to get from Taylor Heinicke at this point. He is a good backup quarterback. He's electric when he's on the field. I like to just say he's just a playmaker. When the ball's in his hand, he tries to find a way to make a play. Now, sometimes that can get him in trouble, as we know, and we've seen that a lot here in Washington. That's why we had to bring a guy like Carson Wentz in, because we needed a true QB1, a guy that is pretty consistent, and we know who's going to show up on a week-to-week basis. So, we got 1 possession from Taylor Heinicke, I believe, 4 for 9, 21 yards, and he did throw an interception. And Ron spoke about that in his presser as well, and he said that he was kind of tipped or something like that. He was hit when he was letting the ball go. But like I said, we've seen that a bunch here in Washington. So, you know, I'm just glad that we were able to get the rookie who I'm about to talk about next, Sam Howell, and he looked pretty decent. Ron Rivera said that in his presser, he looked how he did in college, and that's true. What's up? What's up? Appreciate the support. Um, he looked how he looked in college. You know what I'm saying? You seen that he's an athlete as well. I like to compare him and Taylor Heineke in a sense. Now, what the difference is, Taylor Heineke does not, like, not even close, have the arm ability that Sam Howell has. We seen Sam Howell take some shots down the field. They looked absolutely effortless, and you like to see that. The guy just seemed very, very poised in the pocket. You'd like to see that from a rookie quarterback. So I think there's definitely something there with Sam Howell. I like that he's in that QB3 position because we don't have to rush him into anything. He just can sit there and learn and get comfortable in the NFL style of offense, because we know when he was in North Carolina, they attacked a lot vertically with receivers like Dyami Brown, and then they had that dynamic running game. So Sam Howell gets to sit in the wings and just cook. You know what I'm saying? Just he's on slow cook. He's basically in a crock pot right now, just learning from professionals, and eventually we'll see if we have to call his number one day. Got another comment here. The white uniforms hit different. Man, to be honest with you, this is just my personal opinion. When I seen the white uniforms before we actually wore them on the field, I liked them a little bit more. But when I did see him in the game, I think it was just one of those things that catch you off guard because we're so used to seeing them in the Redskin uniforms. That was just such an iconic thing. It kind of shocked me for a while. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little like, it threw me off for a little while. It's gonna take a while for me to really take it in, but I do want to see the white jerseys with the burgundy pants. I think that combination is going to be nasty. So definitely good to see, those uniforms for the first time on the field in action. But I think them white jerseys with the burgundy pants or even the black pants, those things might hit different. So we shall see. So we've talked about all three quarterbacks. Sam Howell, he had 2 rushing touchdowns. The move that he put on that defender when he ran for his first touchdown was absolutely filthy. You see the athlete he is. You see why he had so many rushing touchdowns in college at North Carolina. The guy has some wheels. So, like I said, there's definitely something there. We selected this guy in the 5th round. We don't have nothing to lose at this point. If it works out, it does. If it doesn't, we move on. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the O-line. I just got to give flowers to Mascal, the O-line coach. This guy, it seems like it doesn't matter who he puts out there. He puts these guys in the right position. He gets the most out of these guys. He maximizes whatever little talent you have. He's going to get it out of you. From the first string O-line to the second string and even the third string, like late in that game, the pass pro was, beautiful, a thing of beauty. The running blocking, it got better as the game went on, especially when Brian Robinson got in there. You start to see that things definitely trickleate, but I don't know if that was due to the fact of Brian Robinson just hitting the holes better, or if that was the O-line just starting to get a little more comfortable in the game and able to get better. But far as pass pro, it was a thing of beauty. I want to give my props to the O-line, first string, second string, and third string. They were giving these quarterbacks all time to throw the ball. For the most part, the quarterback's jersey stayed clean unless they ran the ball. Sam Howell was sacked one time, but just with Sam Howell being a rookie quarterback, his ability to run and things like that and trying to extend plays, you expect something like that to happen. So I won't harp on that too much. So offensive line, man, definitely glad that they look to be shaped up. Can't wait to see when Trey Turner gets in there, to see if we can get him back to the Pro Bowl level he once was playing at. Hopefully he can get back soon. And also Chase Rouye, and we can have a fully healthy O-line. But it's good to know that we have a lot of good depth on the O-line. Got another comment. Bro did a mad move. Yo, that move, like, it was so natural. He put his foot in the dirt and like hit that move. Like, I see, before he even did it, I knew like he was ready to do something absolutely filthy. And if he could have kept his feet in, that was six. Because there was a hole there. He just slipped up a little bit. You know, JD is super quick, so a lot of times when he makes these quick, fast, twitchy moves, sometimes he loses feet in. It's almost like, you know, his top of his body is over top of his legs. So when he runs, you know what I'm saying, sometimes he loses his footing. But the move that he made was absolutely filthy. And plays like that show you why JD McKissic is so big for this offense. For a guy to just come off the bench anytime you need him, third down. Last year, so many plays that he made coming in for us, that Atlanta game specifically. Also, his catching ability. I mean, that guy, he is a lifesaver. And I hope he can stay healthy this year, because the way this running back room is shaping up, it is an absolute thing of beauty. Do you hear me? Thing of beauty. So, big shout out to JD. So now that we just talked about the O-line play a little bit, which I really loved, I got to talk about the rookie running back, Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson seized the moment. The name of this video is Winners and Losers. Brian Robinson came in first play, first possession, and he showed you, you know, he didn't talk it. He showed you why he is a true RB1. And when I'm saying that, hold your horses. Don't kill me. I still love Antonio Gibson. And we're going to touch on that. I know a lot of people are hot with him right now. And in no way have I given him an excuse for putting the ball on the ground. That's unacceptable, you know, in the NFL, especially knowing what you did last season, and then also the fumbling in training camp, and then knowing that Ron Rivera took a running back in the third round. Brian Robinson, you know, he has to do better. A lot of times, you know, it's due to him just being stuck on that greasy skillet. I feel like, you know, instead of getting north and south, a lot of times he's going side to side and he's trying to make a play. He's doing a little bit too much, and you know he that ball gets loose, and next thing you know, is out of there. So it happened to him. But Brian Robinson came in the game and seized the moment. First touch, 11 yards. Defenders just bouncing off him. I've always said he's a gluten for pain and punishment. The guy shows why he is a man among boys. He also, one of his slept on abilities is his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. The guy has showcased that somewhat as well. He capped off that third drive that Ron Rivera left the starters out there with a first ever Washington Commanders touchdown. Brian Robinson in history, first ever Washington Commander touchdown goes to him. So big salute to him. And it's good to know if we ever get in a situation where Antonio Gibson is not cutting it, Ron Rivera, he's going to snatch you with the quickness. So Brian Robinson sitting in the cut. And even, you know, I got to talk about, you know, I already touched on JD McKissic, but even when Williams came in and also Jared Patterson, the local kid, you know, he had a good showing as well. This running back room is shaping up very good. And I feel like, you know, no matter who we put out there to some degree, we can expect some type of production from that position. And that's a good place to be in, because we all know here in Washington how it feels to have a dry cupboard with not a lot of juice. And we got a lot of different ingredients. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can spice it up in different ways. We don't have to stick to the same thing. You want the big back, you want the receiving back, you want the the playmaker back, we whatever you want, we got it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, big shout out to Brian Robinson, and I love the way this running back room is shaping up as well. Now, let's go ahead. Jahan. Just was about to talk about Jahan. So funny that you just mentioned him. So I am disappointed that Scott Turner did not make it a point of emphasis to get Jahan Dotson involved. Get the ball in his hand. He's a rookie receiver. Everybody, he's been making all type of dynamic plays in training camp. Everybody was excited, to see this guy hit the field. And you want to start building that confidence right away. They did target him one time, and that was one of the longer shots that Carson Wentz took on the day, and they weren't able to connect. But one thing that I will highlight is Jahan. This is important. Hear me out. Jahan is a willing blocker. Yes, I've said it, ladies and gentlemen. Coming out of college, people were telling you, that one of his problems was, getting pressed, getting off press, and then also some of his physicality stuff. Today, I watched closely, even though he didn't get, to hook up with Carson Wentz, and even though he only had one target, the guy was a willing blocker. You have to block in the NFL. He showcased that today, that he's a willing blocker. So that gives me a good feeling to know that, he will do the dirty work as well, because, those are the type of guys we have. McLaurin, we'll see what, Curtis Samuel, what he brings as well. But Jahan, McLaurin, these guys are willing blockers. They're team players. He showed that ability and that want to. Blocking is a want thing. Like a lot of these receivers, they're seen as divas. They don't want to get dirty and stuff like that. But Jahan did show the ability today that he would throw his neck out there and actually try to block. And the play that popped was when Curtis Samuel caught that little bubble screen. Jahan Dotson was in front of that, and he did block. So, like I said, good to know that. I'm hoping, in that coaching meeting, Scott Turner and these guys, next preseason game, you got to get the ball in Jahan's hand, whether that's out of the backfield, whether that's a screen pass, whatever it is, a quick slant. Let him get his first hit in the NFL because, we know this guy has big playmaking ability, but you want to, take the training wheels off and get him, acclimated into the NFL. So, like I said, that's the one point that I do have about Jahan Dotson, even though he wasn't able to hook up with Carson Wentz. I'm going to circle back to Carson Wentz real quick. The one thing that I will bring up that I was glad to see where Carson Wentz was, he utilized some of his checkdowns. On that third drive, even I think all three of his, well, not the second drive, because the second drive ended in a fumble, but the first and the third drive, he looked for stuff underneath. You like to see that because, like I said, one of the issues with Carson Wentz is, as we know, he's a big play guy. Hey, excuse me. I got to get a little taste of my tea. He's a big play guy. And there was a belief that, he holds on the ball too long, which there was one play where he did hold on the ball a little longer than I would like, but I'm not going to kill him on that. Like I said, he's still getting acclimated into the offense. So, like I said, he utilized some of his check down stuff. You like to see that. He took what the defense was giving him. Even though we weren't able to hook up on the big plays, we were still able to put a drive together to get downfield and ultimately get into the end zone. Now, another comment here, Amari Rodgers looked all right. He definitely looked all right. I'm ready to get to him as well. Amari Rodgers, tight end from Ohio. He was out there with the first team. I'm not going to lie to you. I was not expecting that. I was expecting to see Sammis Reyes. I don't know what's going on with that situation, but it's a little obvious that Ron Rivera and his staff, they have evaluated, and offensively, they like the style of Amari Rodgers and even Curtis Hodges more than they like the offensive abilities of Sammis Reyes. He did not touch the field on offense at all. So Amari Rogers had 3 catches. Carson Wentz on the first drive tried to get him on a longer pass. They weren't able to connect, but what I tried to do with the tight end position today, because we didn't have our traditional starting tight ends in there. We know Logan Thomas is injured, John Bates, and then unfortunately the rookie Cole Turner, who I'm excited to see. He wasn't able to play either. But what I did was, in my head, I pictured as if it was Logan Thomas, or as if it was John Bates or Cole Turner, because I feel like if it was one of those guys, some of those passes, the longer ones, they would have been able to hook up on. So I think that Carson Wentz, he definitely favors tight ends. Like I said, Amari Rogers, undrafted free agent, recorded 3 catches on the game. So Carson Wentz is definitely comfortable with looking for tight ends. So big props to Amari Rogers, and obviously the coaching staff has some type of affinity for him. Will he make the 53? I don't know, but if he doesn't, definitely looks like he will be on the practice squad if we're able to retain him, because I mean, it's the preseason, it's a business, and he's putting out some decent film right now. So, if the coaching staff don't want to lose this guy, they won't put him in harm's way, but we shall see. Another comment here, huge salute to Condo P. She said, no Sammis Reyes at all is interesting. Very, very interesting, Condo. Like I said, I know for me, I was expecting to see Sammis Reyes. I thought this was going to be a huge opportunity for him. But obviously, as we seen today, the proof's in the pudding. What can we do about it? The coaching staff obviously does not believe in his offensive abilities. He seemed to be more of just a special teams guy. And also, I know they would always rave about his blocking abilities, but as far as being an offensive weapon, I don't know. It doesn't seem like they're going that direction. So it is what it is. And so pretty much, like I said, Amari Rogers and Curtis Hodges, they were in the game at the tight end position for most of the game. And that's how the tight end room pretty much shaped up for our first preseason game. Now, let's go ahead and hop over to the D-line position. I personally think the D-line had a very, very strong showing. Now, due to some of the big chunk plays that were had on us, I mean, it basically felt like a 7-on-7 on there at one point, from Baker Mayfield to Sam Darnold to PJ Walker or Tucker, whatever his name is. These guys were pretty much getting whatever they wanted. And I'm super disappointed with this back end, man. The defensive line was getting pressure after pressure after pressure. And I mean, I literally did. The quarterbacks could literally feel the D-line breathing on their neck. And the next thing you know, the ball's up in the air and nobody on the back end. It looked just like last year. Let's just say what it is. It looked just like last year. Guys are running wide open. And this time it doesn't even look like guys are confused. It just looks like they're just getting beat. You know what I'm saying? And it's so frustrating because I look at other teams and I look at other games, and it seems like we're the only defense, the only corners or back end that receivers are just streaking wide open. The Carolina Panthers, they made it hard for our offense all game. Their defenders were on the ball every time the ball was in the air. These DBs on their team were, if not one step behind them, right on these guys. But for us, it seemed like guys were never in position to make plays, especially on the third downs, man. The third and longs are absolutely killing me. I cannot do another year of getting third and longs and then out of nowhere a long pass is being completed and it's just first down after first down of just marching on the field. But I do have to say that the D-line, man, they were getting a lot of pressure. That's just what it is. Another comment here from Condo P. We were told that the communication issues were fixed and everyone was on the same page in the secondary. I know that's what they told us. And like I said, I will say that to me this time, and correct me if I'm wrong or if you've seen something different, it felt like it wasn't a communication thing. It just felt like guys were getting beat. Guys were just in bad positions. I mean, when Sam Darnold came, now Baker Mayfield, we know he has some escape ability. I'm not gonna lie, Baker Mayfield looked pretty decent out there. He was able to extend plays. He looked like the Baker Mayfield of old. So that bodes well for him. But Sam Darnold, after Antonio Gibson fumbles the ball, comes in. Montez Sweat gets a beautiful pressure on him, and he lobs this thing up as he's falling back. And Kendall Fuller is just a step too late, step too slow. The guy's coming across the middle. I don't know what William Jackson III was doing. He just was kind of floating there, and then is a touchdown. That play, things like that should never happen, and stuff like that seems to always happen to us. I don't understand it. It is absolutely crazy. But the one guy that I will bring up from that back end that had a strong showing was Bobby McCain. It's already been reported that he's been having a pretty good camp. He's been having a strong camp. We know last season he was getting burnt over the top a lot. The one play that he made on Robbie Anderson, where William Jackson III was in coverage, and then Bobby McCain was over top. Beautiful play. They were able to lodge the ball out of there. So it seems like Bobby McCain, as far as communication-wise, it seems like he's definitely taken a step this year. So you love to see that. Got to give props to Bobby McCain. That's one of the few guys on that back end that stood out to me. Also, now me and Rio, we did a stream the other day, and we talked about people that we most wanted to see in this first preseason game. And for me, it was Percy Butler. So it's so funny looking at Percy Butler's college film. It's literally mirrors what I seen today in the preseason game. The guy is super, super athletic. Sideline to sideline speed is phenomenal. He has all of the traits that you need to be a true free safety. But being that he's such a fast guy, and also I'm going to say he's raw, even though he was a senior, he came from a smaller school. So the guy is, learning how to be a professional, learning how to play at this level. A lot of times when he's coming in for tackles, he's overshooting plays. And then you've seen his big playability when he almost had an interception. The ball was literally right there. He undercut the route beautifully, and the ball goes right through his hands. But that just shows you and gives you a glance. If he can put it all together, if it actually snaps on for him and he puts everything together, he could be an absolute problem for offenses. So I will bring Percy Butler up as well. Another comment from Condo P. Really appreciate you coming and checking out the live stream. Butler looked like a rookie. Definitely looked like a rookie. But like I said, you definitely seen why they're kind of high on this guy, because he does have some of the intangibles and measurables and speed to play at a high level. If he can put it all together, that's the thing. He got to put it all together. If he put it all together, it's going to be a thing of beauty. So it was good to see him out there as well. Now, got to talk about it. My boy, Antonio Gibson. Now, this fumble is it's so crazy because I'm already scarred from the fumble week 1 last year. And I know you're going to care, it was week 1 last year, first game of the season. But no, I'm scarred. Week 1 last year, big game. William Jackson III gets an interception. The stadium goes absolutely nuts. The offense comes on the field. The momentum has swung. We seem to be in prime position to win this game. We hand the ball off to Antonio Gibson, and he fumbles. And that play absolutely scarred me. And why it hurt so much today, because the fumble he had today was so damn identical. Literally. In our own red zone, Antonio Gibson coughs up the rock and gives the Panthers team the ball in the red zone. And on top of that, we didn't even get to get a good look on the second possession from Carson Wentz. You see how frustrated Antonio Gibson was. He knew he messed up. He went to the sideline. He immediately started soaking, and he was on one knee. And Charles Leno went over there and tried to console him. But, it's hard, because I know he wants to do good, and I know he has the ability. But in this league, ball security is huge, man. It is huge. You cannot be losing the ball in those positions. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna have to really, really hone in, man, and have a strong finish to this preseason going into week 1. Because like I said, right now, that fumble couldn't have been in a worse spot, and it played right into Brian Robinson's hands. Got another comment here. Jeremy Reaves. Now, Jeremy Reaves does what Jeremy Reaves does. Now, let me explain that to you for a second. Jeremy Reaves, this is just my own thoughts. Everybody's entitled to how they feel about it. Jeremy Reaves is a team guy. Jeremy Reaves is a headhunter. Jeremy Reaves makes good plays, and then Jeremy Reaves makes bad plays. Jeremy Reaves he will make a play, and then 2 plays later, will get a penalty. That's not winning football, man. We could have won this game today. We had 2 key penalties at the end of the game that took the W away from us. That's my beef with Jeremy Reaves. He makes good plays, and then he takes good plays away. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, Jeremy Reaves is Jeremy Reaves. He's a death piece. I'm going to just leave it at that. Like I said, Jeremy Reaves will make a play. Jeremy Reaves will take a play. You can't have it. Football is a game of inches. And, like I said, he's a team guy. The guys love him. He's always, interacting when they come out of the building for training camp and stuff like that. He's always hanging out with Cam Curl. And, like I said, he's a team guy. But Jeremy Reaves will make a play. Jeremy Reaves will take a play. So that's pretty much all I got to say on Jeremy Reaves. So like I was saying, Antonio Gibson, man, he's going to have a strong showing for the rest of this preseason going into the regular season, because Ron Rivera and the coaching staff will not hesitate to pull him if he fumbles the ball. Don't forget, last year they pulled him for Jared Patterson. So don't be stupid and think for 1 second they will wait to pull the trigger to put Brian Robinson in there, who they know is a true running back who can get out there and make big plays. So it is what it is. Also, Carson Wentz, talk about him a little bit more. Like I said, I'm not going to kill him too much for this, but there was one play I did notice. The DN comes off. He gets around the edge. He didn't like initially get pressure on him, but he's circling back around. Carson Wentz is just holding the ball, and he literally was an inch from knocking the ball out of his hand, or Carson Wentz fumbling the ball, but Carson Wentz was able to get it out there. So hopefully, he's able to key in on that and not hold on to the ball too much, because we know here in Washington, when he was with Philadelphia, he did that. We got a lot of sack fumbles on him. And I did see today with him being in the Burgundy Gold, where, that was kind of scary. Don't want to see that. We don't need any quarterback injuries. And, hoping that he doesn't keep looking for the check down. Take your check down. It's not there. Get rid of it, Carson. So hopefully, like I said, I'm not going to kill him too much on that, but just a little something that I did notice. Daniel Wise had a sack. Yeah, I'm going to get to Daniel Wise. Hey, you're really reading my mind tonight. I'm starting to think that you are in my studio, because literally every time I'm about to get to a guy, you start talking about him. But literally, I'm going to get to him in a second. So no big plays in the pass game. I would have liked to have connected And when I say no big plays in the pass game, I'm speaking on the first unit. I would have liked to see one or two of those connect. It didn't happen. It is what it is. We got a couple more preseason games, so hopefully we're able to see some those dynamic play abilities from Carson Wentz. He said, "I am." That's scary, man. Don't play with me like that. So look, I already talked about this a little bit. Back end of the defense didn't help the D line at all. Getting off the field on third downs was absolutely atrocious. We got to do better, man. It's absolutely crazy. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is another flashback, one of those moments that I do not want to relive. The kicking game, man. What happened, Joey Slye? You were supposed to be my man's. We score a touchdown. Joey Slye comes out there, and after we're feeling so good, we finally get in the end zone. Brian Robinson, first ever Commanders touchdown, rookie, and Joey Slye goes out there and botches the field goal, man. Yikes. We know how it was last season. It was absolute hell having to trot so many different field goal kickers out there. Blew it. Joey Slye coming out here looking all brolic. Ron Rivera speaking him up, his confidence, everything. And then the first field goal, he goes out there and misses, man. I don't know, man. He said, how did he miss? I don't know, man. It was absolutely crazy, because I was so excited that that we did score a touchdown. And the next thing you know, he's missing the field goal. Can't do that, can't have it. That's a chip shot. Those are points. I mean, just look at the end of the game. We end up having to go for 2, which we did convert, thank God, even though we didn't pull out the win today, but that don't really matter to me. But that's what I'm saying. Field goals are important, man. Those are free points. Those are like free throws in the NBA, and it absolutely kills me when guys miss those. So, Joey Slye, I'm going to give you a come on, man moment. You got to do better. You're supposed to be my man. What happened? So look, Danny Johnson, let's talk about it, man. Back to the back end. It always leads back to this back end, man. Danny Johnson was absolutely horrific. You hear me? Every time I looked on the screen and there was a big third down made or a play, it seemed like I was always just seeing 36 just flash up there. Definitely hurt not having St. Juice out there today. We didn't get to see him play. Danny Johnson is horrible. I don't care what nobody say. You can feel how you want to feel. That man was getting roasted and torched all game. I didn't even know who majority of these receivers were that the Carolina Panthers had out there, and they were absolutely giving Danny Johnson work. So the cornerback specifically, that room is a problem for me right now. We're going to have to figure out a way to address that. There was a standout, a guy, I don't know if he's going to make the roster. He's a DB, Steven Parker. That guy's physical, man. Those are the type of guys you need on the team. That man was flying around. You could tell that, he's taking these preseason games serious. These guys, a lot of these guys, they trying to make a team, man. And this is their regular season. Steven Parker was out there putting it on display. The guy was flying around, making hits, in on tackles in the run game. You like to see that. But far as our actual cornerback room, man, we seem to be in a little bit of trouble. Behind our starters, I don't know what to expect, man. You should play Madden. What do you mean I should play Madden? Honestly, I used to play Madden, but the last 2 that I bought, I wasn't really impressed. I'm honestly waiting for that new NCAA football to come out. That was my game back in the day. When that come back out, I'm definitely copping it, and I can't wait for that one. So now, like I said, St. Juice didn't play today. Ron Rivera said in his presser that his hamstring tightened up on him. So you don't want to, put a guy in a position to follow that injury because, like I said, with this cornerback room, we need all these guys and we need them healthy. So I'd rather him not play than he does play. So St-Juste, like I said, we didn't get to see him play today. 2 turnovers, man. I know this is a preseason game, and like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not really counting the wins or losses. I'm more or less just evaluating the positions on the field. And 2 turnovers. We had the interception from Taylor Heinicke, which is not surprising. And like I said, we had the unfortunate fumble from Antonio Gibson. That's just not winning football, man. Turnovers and penalties will get you every single time. As we've seen today, we had 2 turnovers. Hopefully we can clean that up. And what really hurts is we weren't able to get any back. Like I said, Percy Butler, he had a clean opportunity to get an interception. He jumped the route. It was beautiful the way he jumped the route, got in front of the receiver, but he wasn't able. The ball goes clean through his hands, and we don't get that interception. So we got to do better in that aspect, man. We got to get some turnovers to help us out. Now, surprises. I'm going to talk about some of my surprises from today. Dax Milne is one of my surprises. My co-host over here, he's just going ahead and putting the list up for me. Yeah, Dax Milne, one of my surprises, definitely. So I got DB Stephen Parker, definitely a surprise of the day. Like I said, tight end Amari Rodgers, didn't expect him to start, and he did, and he had 3 catches. He was pretty impressive. Receiver and return specialist Alec Erickson was very impressive today. The guy, he was the first returner to come out there. He did punt return and kickoff duties, and he also made some plays in the actual pass game as well. So I think at this point you can say he's definitely a roster lock. He got that big 2-point conversion from Sam Howell. So we shall see how this 53-man roster shapes up. And then the thing is, Dax Milne, he also has his own his bright spots, and he makes plays as well. So like I said, both of these guys, it's going to be, I'm really intrigued to see how this coaching staff narrows down this wide receiver room, because there seems to be a plethora of talent there. And I want to see what the direction they go, if they go 6 or if they go 7. Even Dyami Brown, Taylor Heinicke tried to get this man killed across the middle. I was like, yikes. When that hit happened, I was just like, man, please get up. I wanted to see Dyami Brown. Me and my boy talked about this. I wanted to see Dyami Brown actually play with Sam Howell, but I told my boy that wasn't going to happen due to the fact of I knew Sam Howell was going to be playing with the 3s, and by the time Sam Howell came out there, Dyami Brown was going to be out of the game. So we didn't get to see that, but Dyami Brown had some flashes as well. You'd like to see that. And then Daniel Wise, man. Daniel Wise, big salute to him. For Darren Mathis, them 2 boys held it down. Daniel Wise had a sack. And then for Darren Mathis, you see why they drafted this guy. He has a crazy motor. He worked on one play. He works his way down the line and clogs the run game. He is going to be essential in stopping the run this season. So seeing a lot of good things from some of these rookie guys. And then you also seen why, some of these guys are rookies, and you see that, there's areas of growth. Real quick, let me go ahead and list off. You guys know pretty much a lot of these guys that didn't play today, but let me go ahead and list off the guys that are, injured, didn't play today. You got Chase Roullier, Trey Turner, Logan Thomas, Cornelius Lucas, Tyler Lawson, Sadiq Charles. Sadiq Charles is always injured, man. John Bates, Nolan Lafoffenberg, Cole Turner. Wanted to really see him out there. Hopefully he's able to get back before our last preseason game. And then, of course, Chase Young. And then Benjamin St-Juste was the surprise one. We were expecting to see him play today, but unfortunately we didn't get to see him suit up. So that's the list of guys that we didn't get to see today. Hopefully some of these guys on this list are able to get at least, the starters, they're probably only going to play in one more preseason game, and that'll probably be next week. But some of the other guys, hopefully we get to see them get back healthy. Now, my biggest takeaway from today's game, we came out of it healthy. I've been stressing all offseason. My biggest concern is coming out of these games healthy. And ultimately, we were able to do that. So big shout out. Big ups that we were able to come out of this game healthy. We see what happened to the Jets yesterday. They got lucky. They were in fear that they were going to lose Zach Wilson for the season. But, it seems that they're only going to lose him for a couple weeks. So we did get lucky on that side. And one thing I want to bring up, the Antonio Gibson thing. Again, I got to talk about this one more time. Ron Rivera, I wanted to see how he was talking in his presser. Ron Rivera said he liked what he's seen from Carson. He liked the communication between him and Scott Turner. They pretty much felt that they got out of him what they wanted to see. And then Antonio Gibson, he said that when he came in with the twos, you've seen how Antonio Gibson started to run more angry. He said he didn't want Antonio Gibson running side to side. He wants him to put his foot in the dirt and get up field. So you've seen how Antonio Gibson made that flip, made that switch. So it seems like Ron Rivera still believes that Antonio Gibson's RB1. And I think that, with that being said, he's still going to be strutting out there with the ones next week. So like I said, he better take advantage of this and understand that, it is the NFL and you can't put that ball on the turf. Christian Holmes, so Christian Holmes, the one good thing I can say, was pretty quiet over there. And normally when it's quiet, that's a good thing. So I don't have much on Christian Holmes, but like I said, it was quiet from what I really can think about on his side. So that's typically a good thing. That means that he was pretty much somewhat okay and pretty solid. So that is good. We shall see. He'll be getting a lot of more play time on these last two preseason games. But like I said, from what I remember, it was pretty quiet on Christian Holmes' side of the field. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Like I said, this is the first ever post-game show from Command Respect TV and your boy RVA. Hey, listen, I want to say this. You guys that's been supporting me, coming, checking out my videos, commenting, interacting with me, it means more than you know. The channel is going to keep continuing to grow, and we're going to be doing different things and stuff like that. Hold on, one comment right here. I touched on Jared Patterson. I said Jared Patterson. I said even down to Jared Patterson, the local kid, he came in and he was able to make some plays too. I said this running back room is in great standings right now. And like I said, even the local kid, Jared Patterson, he was able to come out there and eat as well. So like I was saying, I really appreciate you guys checking out the content, supporting, liking, subscribing. We will be doing this all season long. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. It's your boy, RVA from VA, Richmond to be exact. Peace.